Change is coming once again. This time it feels like the world's about to end. Like on the devils and play inside. Angry protests in the streets night after night.
Welcome, everybody.
You're my mind. Why are we so bad at running backwards after this time?
Oh, I'm doing my noontime Zoom thing.
I was born
Noontime Zoomer.
And when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye, never let go.
We go high.
Change is coming, that's for sure. We gave a madman all the keys and let him walk right in the door. And I don't think he'll see the light until the whole world is on fire. But that's alright, that's alright. We will still be here when he's gone.
Welcome, get settled in.
But it sure will make us strong. So don't let 4 years change your heart. We were not born hating each other. Now is not the time, not the time to stop. And when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye, never may go low.
We go high.
There's a song, temper soldiers. This is last letter to make memory. We're all sisters, we're all brothers, standing on each other's shoulders. There's no wall we cannot scale. We are an army of lovers, and we shall not fail. So when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye, remember when they go low, we go high, 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 high. People get ready, I said people get ready. People get ready, people get ready, yeah.
All righty. Welcome.
That song is centered around the notion that.
Thank you to Chris Matthews for that beautiful song that she did specially for the Women's Summit. And welcome to everybody in the room today for our kickoff for the vote early win. Woo! And today around the whole state, you can see everybody is lining up to vote. So we're just so excited that you had time to come with us to celebrate, because we have now 45 days to get rid of 45. And so we're glad that everybody is excited about voting, because obviously we say when we vote, we win. And this time off, it's when we vote early, we win. And of course, when we make a plan to vote to win. So I just want to give you an idea of the run of show today, and also talk about a little bit. We've been doing this power lunch now every Friday at noon. It's been our postcard power lunch, and also part of Network Nova's programming, along with Robin's F. Warner postcards. So this is an exciting noon hour to get it all started. And then we started to work on this special project the last month with a group of people from the Virginia Grassroots Coalition. And I'd like to recognize, if you're on the team that got this Vote Early Win campaign going, please raise your hand as we say, hoot and holler. We have Louisa Borowski, Kathleen Murray from We Have Action, Joanne Collins from HRI. We also have Michelle Moore, Krista Jones, Barbara Jones, and Dennis Orsinger. because she is the webmaster of the Virginia Grassroots Coalition, and of course STARE and a few other folks that have been helping us along the way. So we have a lot of cool things to talk about, but I just want to welcome everybody here, and the electeds will be with us. So you'll have electeds in the room to talk about how they feel about voting, why they're voting, and who they're voting in honor of. We will also have some special speakers on voter protection, voter registration. We also will have the filmmaker from Resisterhood here, CJ Crim. So we have ourselves just a badass hour. So just get something good to drink, get your lunch out, and I'm gonna toss it over to my pal Robin and let her tell you all about postcards.
Before we go to postcards, don't we have a door prize spin that we need to do, Kathy?
Why not? Let's spin it. Win it to spin it. We like to do prizes. If you're new to this hour, we also like to have fun, and we're going to spin it for a prize.
All right, so we're going to do the first spin of the wheel. This is not the only spin today, but this is the first one. Are you ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Wait, and before we go, of course, we always have the door prizes. So
Okay.
Stare, get your swag ready because the spin's going to happen. Here we go.
Dun, 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 dun. Who's going to be the lucky winner? No way!
Collins, you're our winner.
Joanne,
Joanne, I know you're in the room. Where are you?
you won something.
You won something big. All right, Joanne. So Scare, tell Joanne what she has won.
I win. Okay, so here's my sack. I know Joanne is always loving to get something from my sack. Okay? When we vote, we win mug. Virginia is my district.
Beautiful.
Woohoo. Good seeing you this morning.
Good seeing you too.
You know, we love prizes and swag. So with that, Robin, give us an update on postcards as they're essential to getting out the vote.
Yes. Okay. We're now going right to postcards. All right. So we've had a phenomenal run these last 3.5 years in postcards, but this is the build up to the big ending. So I just want to let people know that we still have addresses left, even though we are mailing all week. If you want to write more postcards, you got it in you, you got some more postcards, you still have ink in your Sharpies, then we've got addresses. We have addresses all over the state, but we did get early this morning some more Abigail Spamberger addresses. Who knew that there were any more left to give us? But we did get some. So if you want to do some Abigail Spamberger, we've got some. We also have some vote early ones. These are addresses that do not, these are addresses for voters who do not have a phone number associated with their voter registration. So that means that they're not going to be called or text. We do have a couple new voter addresses left, and those are voters that are voting for the first time. So if you want addresses, we have them. We would love you to mail them this week, but if you still want to write, you can still send these postcards out up for till another week or so, because we know how much people love them. So go use these addresses. Now I want to remind you that on all of those stickers, we had the a URL for Vote VA 2020. This is a website that Network Nova and Postcards for VA put together. These links go to the Virginia election site. But what we did is we just made it prettier. We made it easier to find what people need. And it's also in Spanish. So that was what was on all our stickers. So this week, it's been amazing. People have been sending in their photos of mailing. And I just want to read off some of the incredible numbers. All right, starting with Postcard Superstars. That's the group that meets at the Barcroft Starbucks. They did, are you ready for this? 30,000 postcards. Yes, that's 3 with 3 zeros behind it. We had Shatka's group that did 32,000, but the group that is really amazing is the Postcards for VA Alexandria. They did 50,000 not once, but twice. But we have a special message today from the group in Vienna, which was really one of the first early groups out there. Here they are, mailing today.
Oh my God, you gotta love it.
You gotta love that. And then I want to let everyone know that next Friday at the Postcard Power Hour lunch, we will announce our total number of postcards that have been mailed this time. It is a monumental number. It is a larger number than we ever thought possible.
Is it the hugest number that you've
It
ever
is
heard of?
the hugest number. It is
Okay.
such a large number that I am surprised we didn't crash our address system more than we did. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Catherine.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I love that. The hugest number ever. And I love the screenshot behind you of those are postcards on her Zoom screen behind.
And this is the Alexandria group. I have 50,000 postcards behind me. 50,000 of them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's awesome because we really have to do everything we can to get out the vote, and postcards this year is more essential than ever. So again, glad you're in the room, and what we wanted to really kick off today about this concept of vote early win that obviously everybody gets, because when we know that voting is our sweet spot, now it's all about, can we vote? Is our vote going to be counted? And how hard are we going to fight for that right? Correct? So we also know that nothing's normal, that visibility is important. That's why we decided part of this campaign was to get a little creative, right? We know we write postcards, and we know that we also can use our cars to have signs. So you should, today I want you all in this feed to go out and decorate your car with voting signs, vote early. You drive around town, make sure you have that up, and yard signs. And we just thought we need to figure out ways to get visible. And that's how this whole vote early win came about. And let me share my screen real quick, and I will take you through part of that. So we have the vote early win, and we move on to the voter challenge. So today we really kicked off the voter challenge all around Virginia. And so we would love if everybody participates in the voter challenge. And what that means is take a video of yourself, voting or after you vote, and just talking about why you voted and who you're voting in honor of, and then put a hashtag on it, Voter Challenge VA, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Facebook, and we also have a Facebook page called Voter Challenge VA. What we want to do is do like the bucket challenge and challenge our friends and family to vote. So please that's part of this, is this big idea about making sure we challenge each other to vote, challenge each other in all these different ways to be visible. And then we also, part of this whole 45 days is we're going to have cool events, cool activities to actually just drive it about voting, and also to remember how we got here. Like what this enthusiasm, when the women's movement started, when we started electing these beautiful women you see in front of us, Danica, Hala, Elizabeth, and Kathy, and all the rest of the Avengers. So we have a Resisterhood watch party this Sunday at 6:30. We'll have the Avengers in the room talking about the power of women and the force behind that. So we really want to inspire ourselves again to just, to remember we are working together and we need each other, and we're going to do this together. So make sure you join us on Sunday. We also will have this concept, and Diana Smith from HRI will speak to this right after this. I'll put her up. But we're going to also do Drive the Vote challenges. So she's going to talk about what the Her and Rest and Indivisible is doing. And then we also know Nova West is doing a Drive the Vote, basically decorating your cars, showing that community, driving around and getting out the vote. Some people are trying to register voters during this. You just do it your way, on your date, but the coalition is sponsoring it on October 17th. We want this to happen across Virginia. So if you're in this group, you're in a coalition or a group, see if you want to adopt some of these great ideas and join us. And I'll let Diane talk to that about driving the vote. Then we have another way is voting is about activism your way. So decorating your car, using postcards, using your front yard with yard signs, all about getting out the vote and voting early. So we hope you really get excited and do all these different ways to become visible. And lastly, we have a big rally on October 23rd to come back in the room to celebrate. I'm trying to get Senator Warner to join us and some of the other candidates, but we hope to have you in the room. So that's basically the skinny of it. Oh, I know what I want to do. Let me show a voter challenge. Hold on. 1 second. Oh, let me stop the share real quick, sorry. Well, let me just toss it over maybe to Diane Smith to talk about HRI, then I'll go back to the voter challenge. Diana, are you in the room? Want to unmute yourself?
Unmuted.
Hey, great background.
Hi, I can't see. Can you put my slide up?
I could.
Okay, you're on.
But go ahead and talk.
Just go ahead and talk, Diane.
I can't see the slide.
Just go ahead and talk, Diane.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're planning on doing from now until Election Day on Saturdays is to have car convoys. And we're going to set up like little groups of 5. Maybe we'll have 3 pods or 4 pods of cars. We're going to decorate them with signs. We're going to decorate them with Biden signs. We're going to decorate them with, we're against the redistricting amendment, so we'll have signs against the redistricting amendment. And we'll just have general signs about get out to vote. This is your voice. You must vote. We're going to have dogs in the cars. We're going to have kids in the cars. We're going to have people's elderly parents in the cars. If we can, we're going to wear hats. We're going to attract attention. And when we're driving from we've picked where we want to go. We want to go to primarily Democratic areas. And also we've looked at precincts where traditionally, or not traditionally, just they don't get out to vote enough. So this is to remind them that this is a really special vote. A lot of them we're going through neighborhoods where a lot of people have 2 jobs, where it's really difficult to vote. Voting isn't their #1 priority, or wasn't. We're going to try to change that. And we're also going to do what we're calling walkabouts. So on the when the satellite office is open, for instance, here in Reston and Herndon, we are going to have a socially distanced picket walking around the neighborhoods near the satellites with signs that say clearly, you can go vote now, go do it. And
Great.
we're going to do that maybe a couple of times at the Fairfax Government Center. Just because we can't canvass, because postcards are winding down for a lot of reasons. It's time, to use our energies elsewhere. And it's all that we have left, really, is to make sure we get these Democratic voters out. So
Great. Well, I think it's so exciting, and I know you'll have yours on Saturday, and we can maybe put in do you want to put something in the chat about where the information, so where people can maybe meet up? And I know
we're doing it. It's an inaugural run, so we're kind of keeping the pods small to 15. But if anyone wants to come and see where we are, yes, I'll put that in. Put that in the chat.
Okay. All right, Catherine, I think you're ready to show us your Twitter.
Woo! Okay, so that is great. Thank you so much. HRI is on it, and we know that we have another Drive the Vote on Sunday. Marilyn Karp is leading a caravan out in Nova West. So good for y'all. Now I'd like to show you an actual voter challenge by Matt. Go ahead, Matt. Let's hear it.
What's up, Virginia? I'm here in Arlington County, reminding you that today is your first day to vote early for the November 3rd election. This year, thanks to the Virginia General Assembly, you do not need an excuse to go to your registrar's office or election satellite location provided to you by the registrar's office to vote early. Voting early is the safest and most effective way to make sure that your vote is getting counted this November election. So go to iwillvote.com to make sure you know where you're registered to vote. Make sure you know where your early voting locations are, and make sure that you know where your polling place is on November 3rd. It is so crucial that we all vote this year. So that is why I'm asking you all to join the Voter Challenge VA. That's hashtag Voter Challenge VA, voterchallengeva.com, and make sure you are challenging 3 or more of your friends and family to make sure that they have a plan to vote. That is hashtag Voter Challenge VA. Vote early, win.
Woo! Yes, he gets that was the best voter challenge that came in. So we hope you guys all get into it. So Robin, are we at that point where, do you want to talk about the activism, or do you want to just go right over to the elected?
It's 12:20. We're going right over to the elected.
All right, so this is wonderful. We are so happy that today part of this whole challenge is to challenge each other and also challenge our elected to challenge each other to vote. And I'm just so grateful they're all in the room today. And today we hope to hear from them. One, they're going to take the challenge. Two, what their plan to vote is. And most importantly, what they're voting in honor of, to really give us this more of emotional look at voting. And so I would love to toss it over to first to Dan Helmer, if he wants to unmute himself. And I also want to say something about Dan, because last week on the floor, he really had a great response to the other side, the Republicans, about militarization of the police force. And Dan, I'd never been prouder of all the work we did to get you elected, to have you there in that voice. So thank you for just your service, and also thank you for what you're doing now this year. So I'd love for you to get started and just kick us off.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine. I am so excited to be on here with so many friends. I miss seeing all of you in person. And this is so much fun. How have I not been invited, Catherine, to one of these? I just texted you. You guys are having way too much fun saving our country. So thank you for all you're doing, and for doing it with style, and for 4 years of hard work that's going to culminate with us getting rid of the son of a bitch in the White House.
Yes.
So with that, I wanted to give you, I was supposed to tell you about my plan to vote and who I'm voting in honor with. So I believe that the Postal Service ought to work, and that we spent a lot of work in the General Assembly making sure that you could vote without an excuse. And it was amazing to see those lines outside the government center today in Fairfax County. That was awesome. A lot of your work, a lot of the work getting folks elected so that we could pass that law, and then getting people out to vote. That was amazing. So my plan right now is, Karen and I, we requested our absentee ballot. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. It's going to come by mail. We're going to get it. And they went out today in the mail. We're going to get them on Monday or Tuesday, we think. And we are going to take them and go to one of the new drop boxes and drop it off there. And I am excited, among other things. Not only do I get to vote for Joe Biden and Senator Harris, and if you don't remember, Dr. Joe Biden and Senator Harris were out here with us, so I'm going to be thinking about that, helping us to flip the legislature, particularly to flip the 40th. So I'm going to be thinking about that a little bit when I go out and do that. But also, very cool, I know I've heard a lot of controversy and talk about the first ballot initiative, but the second ballot initiative is actually one I sponsored this year that we're going to get to vote for, which makes sure that our 100% disabled veterans are able to get a handicap van without paying taxes on it. So it's a really important amendment. I hope everybody goes out and votes yes on resolution number 2 on the ballot. So, and I was really excited to be able to do that because I was in the General Assembly. So thank you all for putting me there. When I do my vote, I'm going to be thinking a lot about my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother was the first woman attorney in the town she grew up in Poland. So that wasn't common at the time. My great-grandfather was also an attorney, and at the outbreak of World War II, because he was Jewish but educated, was prohibited from being part of the Polish military. And then was persecuted by the Soviets. As a family, were persecuted by the Soviets and then by the Nazis for being Jewish. And finally, they escaped into Berlin and came to the United States and made lives here where we could be free of persecution, and created that paying back that debt for what we've got in here is what caused me to join the military and caused me to be dedicated to service and work so hard in the General Assembly. And so my great-grandfather was a lifelong Republican, and there is no way he would vote for Donald Trump. No way that he would look around and say what's going on in our country is okay right now. And the same with my great-grandmother. And so making sure that we elect a compassionate and capable president in Joe Biden, who doesn't think that those who served in uniform and died are losers and suckers,
Right.
is going to be top of my mind, along with my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother when I go to vote. So I'm so excited. Please keep doing what you're doing. I love you all, and I miss
Yes.
you. Can't wait to see you on the trail together in 2021. So it doesn't end here.
No, excited. No, I do. I will invite you again. I was missing you also. So I'm so glad when I saw you on the floor just speaking so passionately about what you know. I'm like, thank goodness you're there. So it's great to see you. You look great, and you really brought it today. So thank you. So next up is my delegate in over here in Fairfax, Vivian Watts. She's on the line. I don't see her video on. Vivian, are you there?
Video is showing on
Oh,
my.
there you are. I see you now. Hi, friend.
How are you? Yes.
Thank you for being here. I'm going to hand it right over to you.
I think because there are over 80 participants, what an incredible Zoom meeting, that I was kind of buried at the end of the line until I put my microphone on. So, challenge. The challenge to everyone is prove that you are unique. And all of this false smokescreen about voter fraud is wrong, wrong, wrong. I don't have the, and you know I'm a numbers person, percent fraud is what it's about, because you are unique. You have, and it's so seldom said, a very unique voter ID number. And that assures that when you cast your vote, nobody else can come in and pretend to be you and all of these other things that are being talked about, or vote twice or whatever. Prove that you are unique, go out and vote, and your vote will count. The other thing that I will say on the challenge before I talk about who I will be thinking about when I vote, the voter challenge, as usual, Catherine, I love this whole movement that you have been so much a part of, and we see again so much enthusiasm year after year, and that sustained enthusiasm is so important. But the plans for the next 45 days are particularly perfect, which underscores what this whole movement has been about. It's been grassroots, it's been real. And what you have laid out is creating the enthusiasm of election day over the next 45 days. Making sure that as you go throughout the neighborhoods in those caravans, as you decorate your car, whatever comes to mind, to bring home to people that this is not a time to sit back. This is not kind of, sort of, maybe. No, this is a 45-day election day with all of the enthusiasm that so many of us have enjoyed for each fall. This is a time to do it for the next 45 days. Yes. Now, who I will be thinking of, it just automatically came to mind. I will be thinking about John Lewis. I represent parts of 8 different high schools, but my biggest high school was once named Lee High School and is now John Lewis High School. And John Lewis stays in my mind for so many reasons. One, he does represent my lifetime of seeing people who sacrifice beyond imagination to suffer a concussion as a young man, but to go on and never lose sight of constantly doing whatever had to be done to make progress. And over his lifetime, because of that sustained belief in the American people, and that the arc of justice would bend slowly if we all push and pressure and push and pressure and never give up for momentary victories, but know that the race is a long, long race that we all must be committed to. And certainly this year, given what you know, and one of the problems with Trump is that we forget the latest of what he said and done. We forget everything that's come before that. But the latest this morning, I was hard to believe as I'm listening to his remarks about children being brainwashed because history will be more fully taught to include the history of slavery and racism, and that somehow this dishonors our founding fathers as opposed to being the reality of the founding of this nation on the backs and minds and commitment of all people, not just a chosen few that have been highlighted. And I say this also knowing that the audience I'm talking to, many of you look exactly like me. And our history too has been one where we have been property, where we have been less than human and
Right.
not part of the chosen. So that commitment that I personally feel to all who are experiencing that over their lifetime, being kept from being fully, their full potential, their full humanity is why it was an easy choice for me to honor the sustained and very meaningful contribution of John Lewis.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it's so true. So it is election season, as you said, Vivian, and there's so much at stake that it's hard to keep track of it, but you said it so well. And so thank you also for coming and sharing, because I think today what we want to do is remind people the emotion, the history, the fight behind this. And so thank you for being here. It's great seeing you also. So I'd love to hear from our next guest today. Is Suhas on the line? Are you?
Yes. Hey, everyone.
Oh, it's great to see you too. You know, it's really fun to see everybody. And how is your daughter doing real quick?
She's doing great. She's doing wonderful. She's just turned 6 months old, and it's been nice being at home with her, actually, which is the blessing in disguise.
Yeah, so welcome. So without much take it away, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for having me here. I'm so excited to be here with you. Today is such an important day because we're starting early voting, and thanks to all the work we did in this wonderful new General Assembly that you all created, we now have a historic opportunity to vote in more ways than ever before. And so I just requested my mail ballot a week or two ago. I'm going to do full use of the drop boxes, and I highly recommend them as well. And as much as I love to vote on election day, it's always exciting to go to the ballot box and take pictures with you at the booth. With that said, you know, this is a historic time in many ways, and being able to vote by just dropping off your ballot at a drop box, which the General Assembly was able to create, I think is a historic thing for us. And encourage your friends to do the same and to vote early. And not only is it safe, but it also helps the Biden campaign because they know that you're going to vote and they can focus on people who haven't voted yet. So on election day, you know, their list is a lot smaller, and it's a lot smaller for all of us who are making calls and doing other things to get out the vote. So as far as the vote challenge, I'll be a part of that, definitely. I'm going to challenge not only all the people in my district and in Virginia to vote, but I want to challenge my friends in new swing districts who've never thought that, swing states that have never thought that their vote ever counted before, like in Arizona or Texas, and certainly in states like Pennsylvania. I have friends and family in all of those states, and I'm going to make sure that they vote early and make sure that they're getting their friends and family to vote. And you know, the voters that I'm going to be really thinking about and the people I'm going to be voting in honor of is the immigrant families all over this country. The 87th district, Loudoun County, Prince William County, they have you know, one of the highest numbers of immigrant families and immigrants populations in the state. And it's not just the Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans from all over the world, really. And all of them were promised the American dream, were promised a shot, and they've all been failed by this administration and their treatment of immigrants. I think that, you know, not only have they been denied access to the American dream, but they have been denied basic rights like healthcare. We finally got them at least the ability to get a driver's license. But even all the problems in America, they have been blamed for by this administration. According to this president, for all the bad things that happen, because that's the scapegoat he wants to create. He doesn't want any responsibility for himself. He wants to blame it on immigrants. So I'm gonna be voting for them so that we can have a president who can really stand up for immigrants and immigrant families. And you know, I think we all know the stakes here, but just remember, you know, for your friends that maybe aren't into politics as much, who maybe think that both parties are always at fault or politicians are always fighting, make sure that they understand how important this is to vote, and to vote for Vice President Biden and vote Democrat across the ballot in November, because the reason a lot of the negativity is really coming from, you know, this president and really the Republican Party that he has created. I know a lot of Republicans who really don't like him but feel like they have to go along with him. We really need to put an end to this. We should free our Republican friends who don't like him but can't come out and say it. And we should have a president that everyone can be proud of. So thank you so much for all the work that you have done to elect Democrats all across the state. And we need to really win this one, because this is the big one.
Yes, and you know, Suhas, I have to say, everybody in this room that worked to elect some of our newer in 2018 and all the way back to 2017 and so on, this is exciting to see you guys and what you're doing and what you're bringing, and especially attention to the immigrant situation we have here. I was horrified to see the temporary protection status removed from hundreds of thousands of people that have been here forever. So this battle is there's so much on the line. People are in jail, don't have a voice. We need to win so we can release these people that are suffering, that are they didn't come here illegally. They just came here on temporary status. Now they're going to be deported. So thank you for just bringing that up. I think that's it just brings it home how hard we should be fighting. So hug that little girl. Someday I'll get to see your new baby, and just.
Kevin, we have a lot of electeds in line, and I just want to.
Yes, Robin.
As the official timekeeper, I just want to say that unfortunately we're going to have
She's trying to tell me to be quiet. So let's
be a little briefer so we can get to everybody.
Oh, I know that. Thank you, sister. Okay, Suhas, thank you. And I'm looking for a Senator Favola. Are you in the room, Senator? Barbara? Maybe she's not here yet. Okay, so.
Senator McClellan is here.
Yes, well, I'm going down my list. So it's
okay.
all in my little order. So she may be next. So sorry, then I have Jennifer Foy on my list. So I had to go by my little list. So sorry, Jennifer Foy, are you here?
I am here.
Hey, there you are. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me and to be here to share some words about how consequential this election is and what a pivotal moment that we're in right now. And so I am voting. My family is voting. I'm bringing a friends. I have multiple friends. I have a plan, and that's what we have to do for this upcoming election. And so when I go to the ballot box and I cast my ballot, I'm thinking about all of the marginalized communities that will be affected by this election, and all the communities that have been ignored, neglected, and left behind for far too long. Because as we know, elections matter. Elections matter so much. That's why we have 400,000 Virginians now having access to affordable health care, which is all too important, especially now during COVID-19. It looks like helping people like me get elected who pass bills to end pregnancy discrimination here in Virginia, and finally ratify the Equal Rights Amendment so women's constitutional equality can finally be enshrined in our founding document. It looks like helping veterans open small businesses, expanding broadband to rural and Southwest Virginia. So that's what it means. And that's why we have to show up. This election, I hate to say that our lives are on the line. It sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. Almost 200,000 Americans have died, and many of them needlessly, because of someone's ineptness, incompetence, and deceptiveness. And if we don't want to continue on this path, then we have to do something. And that doing something is showing up. Showing up by voting early, now that we have no excuse early absentee voting here in Virginia. That means, or showing showing up on election day and making sure that you cast that ballot, to see that flag, to get that sticker, to know that you did your job, your voice will be heard, and you've participated in this democracy, because we are under attack. We are under attack for our principles, our values, and everything that we stand for. And like we usually do as Virginians, we will show up. We will show up and make sure our voices are heard. So will you stand with me? Will you stand up for your children? Stand up for our livelihoods and our way of life, and make sure that what's supposed to happen on November 3rd does happen. And we have Biden and Kamala in the White House, and we flip the Senate, and we do everything that needs to be done, especially voting people into office down ballot, because we have to ensure that we get that done too. So thank you so much for all that you all have done, all that you're continuing to do to lead this effort. And I stand with you in partnership to do whatever we can to make a difference.
Great. Thank you so much. It's great to see your face too. You look so good, and just keep up the fight. Thank you, Jennifer. Awesome. And so next up we have Ibram, Senator. Are you in the room? Delegate Samara, are you in the room, Ibram? Going once?
I don't see him.
I don't see him. Oh, okay. So, well, as we said, we're moving down the list. We have a lot to get in. Is Senator McCullen.
Yes, I am here.
Hi.
Good to see you all. I am going to be voting early in person with my family, because every year we take our children so they can see the importance of voting and get in the habit, and they like getting the stickers.
Yeah.
We're going to do that this week, hopefully today. If not, then on Monday, right after school. I will be thinking about a lot of people, but first, my great-grandfather on my father's side, who in 1901, when he went to register to vote in Alabama, had to take a literacy test and find 3 white men to vouch for him before he could register to vote. I'll be thinking of my great-grandmother, his wife, who couldn't vote. Both of my grandmothers, one who died in 1936 and one who died in 1960, before the Voting Rights Act and before they, as Black women, could vote. I'll be thinking about my mother, who was the first generation in her family to be able to vote. I'll be thinking about my dad, who not only understood the importance of voting, but eventually became a member of the electoral board because he wanted to make sure elections were fair. And I'll be thinking about my children, because this election is about them and their future, and that they don't have to fight the same fights that me, my grandparents, my parents, my great-grandparents have fought. And I'm going to be thinking, I'm voting. What motivates me to vote is not just the importance of it, but how existential this election is. Frankly put, we cannot survive 4 more years of Donald Trump. Our democracy won't survive it. There are many communities that won't survive it. Our economy won't survive it. Just the very civil discourse of our nation cannot survive 4 more years of Donald Trump. And I am challenging my nephew, BJ Beckwith. This will be the first presidential election that he votes in. He was too young in 2016, so I challenge him to go vote early. And everyone who is registered to vote, if you're not registered, go do that tomorrow. This is too important for us to sit on the sidelines. And I'm excited to go vote and get my sticker, and then take my mom to vote as well.
Well, awesome. And I have to tell you some bad news. Bring your own sticker. They're not giving us stickers. So do not disappoint your kids. Pack your own stickers. Vote early, win, pack your own sticker.
Okay.
Sticker? What are we talking about? They gave me a sticker in Arlington this morning.
Did they? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm wrong. It was all over the news today about that they weren't giving stickers, but you could take the pen. So, hey, look at you, girl. Good looking. So, Senator, thank you for being here. And what a history you've had to have people in your family. It reminds us how important voting is, what people went through to get this right to vote. So last but not least, if I'm, Hala, are you here, delegate? Hala, will you be able to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hey, there you are. Hey, woohoo, bring it.
Well, sisters.
Hala Ayala.
Hala.
I had to get my background up and going because I was excited.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be here with you all. And I'm so glad my colleagues have talked the importance of voting because, you know, a lot of them worked very hard so that we could get across the finish line, just like many of you made calls, postcards, you know, helped us, you know, raise money, connected us, and just made sure that we took back the majority. So this is a tribe or a collective effort, and we stand on their shoulders. So sending love to Senator McClellan and Jennifer Carroll Hoy and all of you ladies, Robin, Catherine, Louisa. Back from my activism days, you know, we were out getting out the vote, Women's March, you know, making change, shaking tables. Anyway, I'll go on. Today I'm voting, early voting, and I've done my videos. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But I'm voting in honor of my grandmother, who has never voted in an election before. So she was told that she had to go through all of these processes, like go to the courthouse and do this. Essentially, she was lied to about the requirements for voting. I registered her for the very first time to vote last year, and she was requested her ballot. She is now going to vote for president for the first time in her lifetime and vote in her first election for the first time. So she voted in the primary, and then she's going to be voting in the general. This year is her first election. So for all of those who are disenfranchised, who were, you know, conveniently kept away from the ballot box, this one's for you. We're going to make history. We're going to change the soul of America because we're hurting, we're in pain, we've been divided, and essentially we've got to work through this so that we can get to the other side of not only hope, but our future. So I thank you all for putting this together. This is great, and just allowing me to have time.
Yes, it's great to see you, and I'll see you on Sunday for the Resisterhood. That's at 6:30 with CJ, so you're looking good, and I will go and look at your voter challenge, and we'll make sure we put that on the webpage. So thank you. Woo, looking good. I love it. I love it. So I know next step. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss any other elected, and I just want to thank you. I hope you stay to the end, but if you don't, it means a lot that you showed up, because voting early is winning, and hearing your stories really just motivates us all to challenge each other. And that's really important. So moving on to all about voting, I have Kelly Faulkner here from 757 Motherboard. She's been doing some awesome work down in 757 Elaine Lurie's district. Kelly, can you just give us a brief little update about voter registration and all that good stuff, what you've been doing?
Definitely. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with all these wonderful people doing amazing work. We were working on Elaine's campaign, just like everybody's working on their other campaigns, doing postcards. And we realized very quickly that we need to take all that energy and start thinking about how we're going to move it to the next action. So how do we register more voters once the DMVs were closed and we knew that was not going to be an option? How do we find people? So the first thing we thought about was young people, and especially people leaving for college, getting that done. And we weren't very successful in the beginning, because just because you post it and have it does not necessarily mean people come. So we realized, how can we find where these people are at? So we had been contacted by a local brewery about a special release that they were doing for Susan B. Anthony, and asked if we would please be there to register voters. And once we were there, we realized very quickly that we've been doing this for so long, we forget that not a lot of people understand all the different options for voting this year. And so it became more about education, and registration was bonus on top. That was just the cherry on top of all of it. But we decided to educate the voters. So we quickly took your sticker that you gave us, Make a Plan, and realized we needed to take it one step further so that they knew what plan they needed to choose from. And so we went to our website, and we decided to use that as our first source of information. So on our Motherboard 757.com website, we have every city in Hampton Roads area, in which if you click a button, it will take you to the site, and it tells you all the options. And so now what we have done is we created at our voter registrations, we have several we're doing throughout the city, and we have binders that we made that includes that information, so that people walk away, have something in their hand, and know exactly what their options are. At least in Hampton Roads, we have so many different cities that have different hours, different times that the satellite locations will be open, that it was very confusing. So we wanted to make it as simple as possible for people, and so that they had a plan to take with them and choices to choose.
Oh, that's great. Show us your notebook again.
Okay, so we made
like, if I want to see, push it up. Oh, you have the QR code.
We made QR codes for every city so people can quickly get to that information. And then within our binders, we have each city, and this is again information from our website that tells all the locations and hours for each city, which is
That's amazing.
Area. So this is going to be our source that we use. And even though October 13th is the deadline, we have already decided this is now more about education, not just registration. So we will be doing it all the way up to the election, where we are just out there in the public and letting them know. And every place we've been so far, everybody has been just so excited and very receptive to just knowing all the choices and being grateful to have a resource for that information.
No, thank you. So thank you for coming, because I think one thing that we can't lose sight of is, even when we're out doing the drive the vote, even when you put your yard sign in your yard today that's going to say early voting, maybe you have some information for people. We're all realizing part of this is voter education. Our group is actually called the Virginia Grassroots Voter Education Group.
Oh, wow.
We're a bunch of nerds, you know, fun nerds. Anyway, so that's great. So hopefully that encourages everybody in this group to actually look at what Kelly did, and that's pretty awesome how you're able to transport that out and actually talk to voters, even in the time of COVID. So Kelly, thank you for coming. And next up is Irene Shin from Virginia Civic Engagement Table about voter protection, but I don't think Irene was able to come. So Irene, she may have had to leave. So yes, I didn't see her name in the chat. So anyway, she was going to talk about voter protection. So what we do encourage everybody to do, and you all know this, sign up to volunteer to be a poll worker, watcher, whatever you can do to make sure that goes smoothly. So getting to the last part, saving the best for last, or not, everything's been good today, is CJ from Resisterhood. So I'm going to turn it over to CJ. If you want to talk a few minutes about your documentary, about what it's about, where it's going to be shown, and our special sneak peek on Sunday.
All right, hello everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This group always energizes me. I have lived in Northern Virginia a couple times, in Annandale and in Alexandria. I live in Maryland now, but I love to tell everyone that Virginia is a model for what the country can be, because we are going to take it over and we're going to turn this country back on the right path, the way I see Virginia has done. I was down at the State House the last couple of years for the votes for the ERA. Fortunately, I was there this year. I was there the year before and the year before that, and votes before that, and was not as happy in those years. But we've got a lot to do. This documentary that I've been working on since a week after the last presidential election is all about the power of women, hope, and resistance, which is something that we can all use, all of those things in abundance right now. And that's what we have in this room. The documentary follows 6 grassroots activists from different at-risk groups. And I think I could probably have taken a camera around and followed every one of you around for 2 years, like I did the people in the documentary, and told your stories, because that's what it's about. It's about people who are really feeling that they need to step up, and that each one of us can do something. And so we follow these people we actually started the Women's March. The documentary I actually started shooting a week after, where a friend of mine, who I was in a book club with 8 people, and one of the people in my book club went out for a run the day after the election and thought, what can I do? And so she called us all together, and we were asked to invite friends. And the first meeting was a week after the election, and there were over 30 women showed up, and that became the group called the Women's Alliance for Democracy and Justice. And so that's one of the stories that we follow. Anyway, we do have a trailer. You guys get to sneak preview on Sunday at 6:30. I hope you'll join us. The film will be available on Amazon
Yes.
Free if you have Amazon Prime, and also on Vimeo On Demand starting on Tuesday, the 22nd. We're really trying to get it out there. We want everyone to spread the word. Watch it on Sunday, watch it again on Tuesday. We're going to be live tweeting, different things about the documentary as you're watching it. We want you to tweet on Tuesday, and so that we can let everybody know that this documentary is out there. And the last thing I'll say is, one of the reasons that this documentary is really hitting a chord with people right now is because it's positive, it's uplifting. I wanted the documentary to give you the feel that we all had at the Women's March, where we realized we weren't alone, that there were people around the world saying, this guy does not represent who we represent. We are not this person. We are not this administration. And so it's uplifting. And I think that's something that, that we can all use right now. So I invite you to join us on Sunday and again on Tuesday. And just when you need any little bit of a boost, I think the subjects in this film will give it to you.
No doubt. And so we have a trailer that Robin's going to get ready for us to watch in just a 2-minute. So get everybody excited.
I had the audacity to ask, why couldn't I vote for him? What did I have to lose? Everything.
Recently, someone looked at me and he said, hey, you lady from ISIS, get out of our country and leave us alone. I feel so bad now that I have to take my scarf off when I'm driving my car because I'm scared about my life.
We have to keep together. We have to keep talking. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep inspiring each other and reminding each other what's at stake.
Mr. Speaker, I will not be here or outside at the inauguration ceremony. The event I'm going to is the Women's March on Washington.
Thank God to the women for having invited and called us all together.
To me, it's like a very simple message. You're not alone.
I want to stand up for people who are in danger. And I want to use the incredible platform that I have to make someone else feel more comfortable in their own skin.
Oh, when I got to see my name in the ballot, that was the most exciting moment in my whole life.
And I look to you to be that other generation that will carry forth the march for freedom.
She made sure that her voice was heard. And I thought, if she can do this, then I can do this.
The single largest electoral force in the United States of America is women.
Good morning, resistors.
You gotta vote, you gotta educate yourself, you gotta get out there, you gotta fight for what you believe in.
Women all around, raise your fist. Now is the time we must resist.
There's an incredible amount of opportunity now for all of us to rise up and to really stand for something.
Let's rise up. Let's march on Washington. Our footsteps and our voices will be heard.
Woohoo! Wow, it just is a great reminder of what it was all about and how it started and why we're all working now together in the grassroots and found different ways to make a change. So thank you, CJ, for being here. I think we have one last door prize. CJ has some resistor stuff, I think.
I do. I've got a bunch of stickers. We have this great, wonderful logo that a friend of mine designed with our sister resistor here. This is a car decal, and then we have all these little ones where, wait, where's the, you think I would know where the camera was, being a camera person. And then we've got just a vote, we've got our sister resistor, and I've got a button. We just, you can just plaster yourself with Resisterhood stuff. And of course,
let's do a spin, Robin, are you there?
I'm here, let me get the spinner up.
Spinner up.
All right, so the spinner's up, let me get it full screen so we can see it. Can you see it now?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Here we go. It's spinning.
So remember, Sunday, 6:30, Resisterhood. We'll have the 4 Avengers in the room. And who's the winner?
Is Diane Devendorf there?
Diane in the room?
Is Diane in the room?
If you leave early, you don't win sometimes.
Okay, we're
One
spinning.
more spin. And what else do I want to remind people? Oh, yes. So yard signs. Put signs in your cars. Wear your vote stuff on your body. Challenge. What? Diane. What? Woo! Diane. All right.
Diane is one of the founders of Postcards for VA. All right. Thank you, Diane.
Oh, Diane. Great. The winner. Oh, good. We'll get that over to you, Diane.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So as usual, it's that time again. It's 1 o'clock. And we will.
have one more video.
Oh, yes. Well, we're going to go out on that video and with some music. So stay in the room. We're going to play some music, play a video. I want to thank everybody for everything and being here. And remember, next Friday, too, Robin has a great power lunch for postcards. We'll have Hala, delegate Hala Lala there. And also, we'll just continue the party. So go ahead. Let's send everybody out with a great positive message, because winning
is the only option. And join us at the Talkin' Shop tomorrow.
Oh, the Talkin' Shop. Oh, tell us about, the Talkin' Shop, real quick. Go, Stare.
Okay, so we're having our Talkin' Shop at the Starbucks Plaza. This is where we've been meeting since March. So it looked like a great place to meet. We'll see you there 12 o'clock, 12 to 1:30. We'll be having,
we're going to do
it's a Talkin' Shop. So come and talk.
Barcroft Starbucks on Columbia Pike. We'll see you there. And yep.
And bring balloons and get excited.
Decorate your cars. Yeah.
Decorate your cars. So we've got one left here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what we got?
Winning is the only option.
You can't win if you don't run.
When we go, we win.
So winning is the only option. Don't look at it.
Mask up, bring your hand sanitizer, and vote. Because we have to win.
This year, winning is the only option.
It's the only option. It's the only option. It's the only option. In 2020. In 2020. In 2020.
All right. Okay. Good? Yahoo! All right. So everybody, we'll see you next time.
Smile.
Smile, you're on camera.
Once again. Except this time it feels like the world's about to end.
Wait, Catherine, I can't hear you. Catherine, your music went off.
Okay. There we go. All right.
I'm muted.
You're muted.
I was.
Okay. Going for love and hope, and when I die, that's how I'll depart. And when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye, remember when they go low, we go high. Change is coming, that's for sure. We gave a madman all the keys and let him walk right in the door. And I don't think he'll see the light until the whole world is on fire, but that's alright, that's alright. We will still be here when he's gone, and if it doesn't kill us all, well, it sure will make us strong.
Come on, rock it out, Teresa.
So don't let 4 years change your heart.
Come on.
We were not born hating each other, now is not the time to start. And when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye, remember when they go low.
Thank you.
We go high.
Holla's rocking out over there. Holla!
There's a song penned for soldiers. It says, let us live to make men free. We're all sisters, we're all brothers, standing on each other's shoulders. There's no wall we cannot scale. We are an army of lovers, and we shall not fail. So when you find yourself incapable of seeing eye to eye,
ready?
remember
Make it
when
look
they
good,
go
guys.
low. We go high, 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 high. People get ready. I said people get ready. People get ready. People get ready.
I like your t-shirt, Peggy. You got your new t-shirt. Awesome. Hashtag Voter Challenge PA.
Put it on your social media. See you next week. See you Sunday. Share with your friends. Tag the woman you marched with.
Great to see everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.